How much does the average retiree spend in retirement? All right, it's from the BLS. Hey, we're going to read this from Investopedia. Pretty interesting. And let's see if that's close to you. I just got off the horn with some people and up in the good state of New York. Got over $1,000,000. They spent about, I said, if I gave you $100,000 a year, could you make it? They said, oh, absolutely. They got a home equity line. They got a little bit of car loans, no mortgage. I said, absolutely. I said, okay. But the question is, well, $1,000,000. I'm spending $100,000 a year. How am I going to make that work? Oh, because we have Social Security. Social Security. So he's getting $3,500 a month from Social. She'll get half that, but she's going to take it early. So we'll just say between them they get $4,500 a month in Social Security. $4,500 a month times 12 is $54,000. $54,000 means they need $46,000 from the $1,000,000 portfolio. What? They're going to make that work? What? 46,000 from $1,000,000 portfolio. 4.6% distribution. And they're not even going to come close to spending $100,000. I just use that as a round number. Like, yeah, absolutely. All right. And that includes their home equity line of credit. All right. So anyway, let's go into this right here. The average retired household spends about $5,000 a month, which includes housing and health care, and food being the largest expense categories. So if you take out housing, because your mortgage is paid off, the only thing you have to pay is your property tax, your homeowner's insurance, and some maintenance. Your housing is still going to be one of the biggest expenses, but instead of being 40% of your total spending, like the CPI looks at, it's probably 10% of your total spending. Like if I talk about my book, You Can Relax and Retire, Debunking Inflation Fears. Healthcare becomes a bigger expense because you're going to Medicare. Medicare ain't cheap. It's about $550 a month per person, depending on what state you live in. That's assuming you get a supplemental policy as well. So you get the A is free, the B, I pay $200 a month is what I use. D, prescription drugs, $50 a month. Out of pocket co-pays, co-insurance, and of course a supplemental policy depending on your state, a Plan G, a Plan N, something like that. So I use about $500 to $600 to $550 a month there. So that becomes expensive. And food's going to be your big expense because you need to eat twice a day. You don't need to eat 3 times a day, but twice. Most people eat 3, but you really only need twice. But anyway, let's just say 3 times a day, $5 a pop, $5 a meal. Just use that for example. 5 times 3 times 30. So you're going to be spending $450 a month on food. That's just between you and your spouse. That's $900 a month. Yeah, that's if you spend $5 a meal per person. Yeah, that seems reasonable to me. I don't probably spend I don't know. I mean, we do have a lot of leftovers. But yeah, that seems reasonable to me. So that would be a big expense too. But that's $1,000 a month. Plus your health care is $1,000 a month. Plus your housing costs $1,000 a month. That's $36,000 right there with the big 3: healthcare, housing, and food. Average monthly expenses for retirees. The BLS provides valuable insight for the Consumer Expenditure Survey. The average retired household spends about $5,000 a month. Yep, and this is based on from 2023. All right, and it's the most recent available. Housing costs include mortgages, property tax, utilities, and maintenance. Retirees who have paid off their mortgage generally face lower monthly costs. Shocking. Healthcare. Yep. Food spending tends to decline slightly in retirement as compared to pre-retirement years because you're eating at home, not away from home as much. If you just look at the CPI, the numbers for inflation for eating at home is less than the numbers for eating away from home. Transportation, while commuting expenses drop, retirees can still spend on vehicle maintenance, insurance, fuel, and recreational travel. Yeah, 1%, but you're not going to be doing that for every single year in retirement because as you're going to get older, you're going to do that less. That's just fact. And most likely you're not taking on new car loans or something like that. And you're not driving to the office every day. Will your benchmark be enough? All right. Data from Empower reveals the median 401k balance for individuals 60 to 69 is $210,000. All right, $210,000. So we're going to use a simple 5% off $210,000. That's $10,000 a year. All right, that's $10,000 a year. Can you do that? Sure. You got Social Security kicking in at another $40,000, $50,000 a year between you and your spouse. That's $60,000. That's $5,000 a month. That's really not that big of a deal. Obviously, if you spend a lot more, you're going to need more than that. Of course, I say we got equity in your home. Why not look at getting a reverse mortgage line of credit? $5,000 a month, my friends. That's what people are spending, the average monthly spending in retirement. But you can't afford it. Okay, this is just silly. That's what people are literally doing. You might not be able to, but the vast majority of people are. Well, I can't say the vast majority because this is the average, all right? But at the end of the day, many people are. Many people are. And they're retired, and they're doing fine because the surveys all say it. All right, God bless. Love your thoughts. Smash that like button.